surfaces, beams and other lucky witnesses now to call me. This time won't you please? Curiosity.
I'm going to snort some cayenne pepper up my nose.
Oh, yeah, good morning in that, though, but it's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Also in tune edition of that as well. Welcome to Uncle Lou After Dark. This is the college football call-in show, so try to keep that in mind if you can. Where's the damn number? There it is. There you go. Where's the number, Lou? I appreciate everybody tuning in. Prophet, thank you for hitting the super chat at the start of the show. He says, leave Tess alone. He has enough on his plate already. Thank you for the super chat, sir. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Ego One, Michael Porter, John Doe, Dylan Deloney, Rack Dog, Easy Money, Kevin Wood, Jerome Pruitt, Tennille Calvino, Mike Vick, Ben Long, Ray Screen, Wes McLaughlin, Noel Squad, Michael Porter, Jeremy Garrettson, Battle Angel, Bible Belt Beauties, aren't they all? B. Red, Michael Vick, Christopher McDavid, Brad Pitt, Rhino 26, see you in here, sir. Jeff Webster, what's up, buddy? Nate DeGreat, good morning, sir. Alan Benefield, Pizza Woman, Suicidal Tennessee fan, that could literally be any of them. Clint Eastwood, Faux Nickel, Caleb Hester, Carolina Jackpot, what's up, buddy? DJ Bucci, Jim Delkin, Mason Krause, Brandon Wyatt, Methinks, Wiggins World, Ammonia Wilder, Ray Finkel's House, Lucas Sharp, Aaron Brown, Texas T-Set, Matt Dummett, Noel Squad, Jonathan Lawrence, Baylor Man, Somniac Reviews, JC. Big shout out to everybody for tuning in tonight. This is Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. 706-786-4481 is the number if you want to be on the show. 706-786-4481. College football games on tonight, but they're not any good. So, Rams on too. Matt Stafford, Sony Michel. Yeah. They are good. They are good. Anyway, I do appreciate all of you tuning in. We're going to get right to the phone calls here. The phone lines are backed up. 706-786-4481. 706-786-4481. Super chat is located directly below the comments section for your convenience. Make sure you leave some type of a note along with your super chat to troll me, which is what a lot of people like to do. There's also a PayPal link for those of you who don't mind doing it that way. That's great too. I'll post a PayPal link in the comment section now, and the mods will post it a few times throughout the show. The PayPal link is also located in the description of this here video. Brandon Wyatt, thank you for the super chat. You make grad school bearable, Lou. You're a gentleman and a scholar. That's right. I probably pay my taxes and vote Republican, too. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey there, Lou. What an honor it is to be on the college football call-in show.
The honor is all mine. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I had a couple of talking points tonight. The first one I wanted to get to was I was at this Georgia-Arkansas game this past weekend. Now, I've been to the SEC championship when Georgia went in 2017.
Yes.
And I've been to the NFC championship when the Falcons played the Packers to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That was the loudest environment I have ever been in at a football game.
Oh, wow.
That place was absolutely rocking.
Kind of unusual for a noon game, too.
All 50 years.
Yeah, that's a little unusual to hear.
Absolutely.
There's a noon game. I was happy to see just from the TV shots that the stadium was actually pretty much filled up by the time the game started. I was a little worried with the combination of it being a noon game plus college game day being there that you might have a lot of stragglers not getting to their seats till 12:30 or whatever. But it looked like most of the stadium was full by kickoff, so that was good to see. I'm glad to hear it was a rowdy environment. That's good.
Yeah, what really helped with that was College Game Day moved into the stadium there at 11, so nobody was sitting over there.
That's right. You're right. You're right. I've noticed they've been doing that this year too. That's not the first time they've done that.
That's right. Yeah, they did that for Notre Dame, Wisconsin, when they were over there at Soldier Field.
Yeah, I like that. I like them doing that, especially when they're at a game that has a noon kickoff. I like that.
Right. The second thing I wanted to get to was there was a guy a couple of weeks ago that called in who had some off-the-wall idea that we all laughed at. It said Dabo Swinney should come to UGA along with Kirby Smart.
Yes.
Well, maybe that guy knew what he was talking about, because Dabo sure would love to be at Georgia right now. I can tell you that much. His program is an absolute shambles. What a joke Clemson is.
Yeah, they look pretty bad ever since Georgia broke them back in week 1.
Psychologically, it's over for him.
Unfortunately, for the Tater Man, that appears to be the case.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lou. I appreciate you taking my call. Have a great call-in show, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. It was good to hear from you. Hope you will call back another time soon. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. It's Ole Miss Edward. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good. Looking forward to this weekend, and I'm sure you're looking forward to Georgia burning the barn to the ground.
Yes, should be a good one. Should be a good one.
Yeah, we'll see about a good one. I think UGA is going to roll. But anyways, I wanted to talk about LSU today.
Yes.
But before that, I wanted to say, have you seen what Lane Kiffin's been doing on Twitter and on Instagram lately?
Posting the popcorn?
Yeah, he got sent all that popcorn, and now it's the first 5,000 fans at the Ole Miss game are getting free popcorn.
That's great. Yeah. He turned around a bad, so he put his foot in his mouth, and now he's turned it around. So he's making the best of a bad situation that he created for himself.
Yeah, I do like that. Lane's pretty self-deprecating. But anyways, I guess LSU, when I pick to talk about, relates a little to Lane. I think it's all pretty much guaranteed LSU's going to get rid of Ed Orgeron. And I'm wondering about these coaching candidates, and I keep seeing a lot of people say, "Oh, Lane Kiffin, he ain't loyal to Ole Miss. He's going to jump to LSU as soon as he can. Ole Miss is a terrible program, and he can win a national title immediately at LSU." Like, I'm tired of hearing Lane Kiffin is going to leave after 5 minutes at Ole Miss. Like, give me a break, man.
Yeah, I'd be surprised by that too.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do. Do you think they'll make a run after, like, Billy Napier or Matt Campbell or Bob Stoops or something?
Who, LSU?
Yeah.
Bob Stoops is an interesting name I haven't heard mentioned. I'm not sure which direction they'll go. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do anything but name the same list of 4 or 5 coaches that gets named every single time there's an opening somewhere. Luke Fickell, Matt Campbell, P.J. Fleck, Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
I have no idea what direction they'll go.
Earlier, I had a Miami fan try to tell me that they're still an elite program. They're going to hire Lane Kiffin away from Ole Miss.
Right.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But anyways, LSU can do whatever they want. I don't think they're getting Lane, but I hope the game this weekend is a good one, and if we can get back on track, like I called in last time and said, we can get to that New Year's Six Bowl, be that third best team in the SEC. I know it sounds pretty sad to say that, but it just Georgia and Bama, man. Anyways, that's about all I got. I'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling in. Good luck to your Ole Miss Rebels this weekend against the Arkansas Swine. That game coming up Saturday. Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though.
Good morning, Lou. It's Jeremy here from Huntsville. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm an Auburn fan. I'll be going to the game this Saturday, and it'll be super electric and everything. And but I know like how good of a team Georgia is. They're obviously I think that they're the best team in the country. Pretty much everybody that I talk to, all my buddies, they all think that Georgia's better than Alabama. But everybody that thinks that otherwise, pretty much, they just, the Tiger trolls, they just bring up that Georgia over the past however many years has had like an empty trophy case. They're just ignoring the fact that Georgia is the best team this year. If you watch it, you can clearly tell.
Right.
And I want to talk to you about Brian Hart. I know in your interview, your videos, you have pretty much said that you think that Brian Hartson is out of his own league, out of his league, way in over his head and that everything. And I'll tell you something. I think that Brian Hartson is going to be a good coach for us. And this isn't the only reason why, but I think that he's thinking about the right things. If you go back to Gus Malzahn in last year, watched an interview. It was before the Georgia game last year. And he said, yeah, Georgia is the most talented team in college football. And he didn't give any credit to Kirby Smart. He basically just said, yeah, they're super talented. And if you're watching that interview as a Georgia fan, you're probably thinking, he just thinks that Kirby was just handed this team or some shit. So I watched the Brian Hartson interview this week, and he said, when I think of Georgia, the first thing that comes to mind is effort, consistency, really, really hard work, players that are always in the right position, very, very well coached team, and they have a phenomenal coach. I just think that he's thinking about the right things. Like when Gus is over here, saying, "Yep, they're talented, all right." I mean, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean,
but
one potential issue is not what he's thinking about. It's what he's apparently not thinking about. But do you keep up with recruiting at all?
Yeah, I do. But
do you know who's in last place in the SEC for the class of 2022?
Yeah, Auburn.
Yeah.
But
they're behind Vandy.
I mean, I think that will kind of speed up, over time. I feel like it's not really.
Well, he's got 2 months. Yeah, he's got 2 months till signing
the whole year is
signing day. 2 months away. Of course,
but recruiting doesn't really, mean. Well, it does mean something, but it's not like, you're not in a sudden death position in October to get some recruits, to get commits.
You're not? It's 2 months till signing day.
Okay, so you're telling me that Auburn's going to be 14th in recruiting.
I'm telling you they're 14th
Do you think
now. I'm telling you they're 14th now.
Exactly.
What do you think they're going to be?
Stay there.
What do you think?
I think that they're going to catch up, and they'll be in the top half of the SEC. But when it's all said and done with, we might be number 7, 6, 5. We might be behind. Obviously, we're going to be behind Alabama, Georgia, LSU, like always. We might be behind Florida, Texas A&M. We might be right there, right behind them. Ole Miss, Arkansas. It's pretty much a toss up between those teams, I guess. But we're not going to be finishing in way down in the it's not going to be a dumpster fire recruiting class.
Right.
But I do think that Brian Hartson, when you listen to, I'm not going to be comparing him to the greatest coach of all time. That would be ridiculous and stupid. But when you watch his interview, he's very, very. He just sounds like he doesn't give a shit about he was asked about the rivalry between Auburn and Georgia, the rivalry between Auburn and LSU, not winning there since 1999. He said, "What does that mean to you?" And he said, "Like, yeah, that's great, and all, but this one is about the players that are here now. And Georgia, I'm worried about this iteration of Georgia, this 2021 Georgia. You know, I think he's going to be a good coach. I'm calling it right now. He's like 45 years old, something like that. And you can tell he's just focused on the right things. He's a very mature, just a very mature guy. Like, he's not over here saying like, get your popcorn and tossing headsets and shit. Like, I think he's going to be here a long time.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. Thank you for the call. I'm going to have to let you go and move it along on down the road. But I hope you're right in that he is there for a long time. I have a feeling that would work out good for me. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm well, man. Living a dream. Hey, not going to get to hang up on quarterback stuff, but I try to do a little research. Maybe you know, but what quarterback in recent history, even going back beyond the playoffs, before the playoffs, what college football quarterback that's won a national title has been under 6 foot tall? Zero.
I don't know. I don't have any idea. I haven't memorized the heights of all the national championship winning quarterbacks.
No, I know. But again, because I got into it, with some people over the situation that we're in there, the UGA, and the person that probably be starting Saturday, like you said, he can beat good teams. He can't beat great teams. But I don't believe that an elite quarterback is under 6 foot tall. He's not going to win a national title.
Well, you can be under 6 feet tall and be elite. You can. Spud Webb was a point guard in the NBA.
Well,
it doesn't mean the NBA now goes out and looks for 5'5" point guards. Exceptions to the rule prove the rule. It's a reason that it's such a big deal that Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson are successful in the NFL. There's a reason why that's a big deal, and it's because they're short, and it very rarely happens. So just because Kyler Murray can throw a touchdown pass for the Arizona Cardinals doesn't mean every football team on earth is running around now looking for 5'10" QBs.
No, I agree. The other thing going into this weekend's game is it's always tough to play at Jordan-Hare Stadium, bottom line. But listening to a lot of talking heads this week, Bo Nix, he's like Notre Dame. He's running on borrowed time. That stuff he pulled against LSU, basically if you watch it, he just was running for his life and threw it in the air. And you're not going to do that game in and game out, and especially against this Georgia defense.
Right.
So he's running on borrowed time.
Yeah, he's not any good. So.
Nah.
Right.
Nah. That's all I got to say. Have a good night.
All right,
Dogs.
All right, go Dogs. Thank you. Thank you for the call. Good to hear from you. Still waiting to hear on what's his name, Alabama fan from Kentucky. Know you're listening. Patiently awaiting your phone call and excuses as to how come you haven't managed to figure out in 48 hours how to use PayPal. Seems like with all that money you were talking about you could have paid somebody to show you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Uncle Lou, how you doing?
Doing great.
I just had a question for you. So
I'll answer.
A couple of days ago on your one of your shows, somebody asked you about if you listened to Dean Leggy and Dog Post, and you said you listened to them but not Dog Nation, and I was just wondering why.
Oh, because they blocked me at the after Mark Richt was fired, so I don't watch them or I don't associate. They blocked me on Facebook, but because of that, I don't watch them or associate with them anywhere, YouTube or anywhere else.
Okay. One more question before I go, and After you can answer this question, I can hang up after I ask it. But with the injury with JT Daniels right now, do you think, if he holds out and he maybe doesn't come back to Florida and Stetson Bennett stays, do you think there's a chance that JT comes back next year? Thank you, Uncle Lou. Have a great day.
All right, yeah, thank you. The more games JT Daniels does not play, the greater the chance he would come back next year. Or he could just do like Jake Fromm and say, fuck it, I don't give a shit. If I get drafted in the 6th round, I'm leaving. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What's up, Uncle Lou?
What's up?
You know who I am, right? You're a Tennessee fan.
I don't have a clue who you are until you tell me.
Okay, look. I call most of the time on the.
I get that. It's just that I talk to thousands of people a year, so I don't always remember you. But you could when you come on, you could always just go, hey, this is such and such, and then I would know who you were.
Okay, I just wanted to say one thing. The Alabama fans that think Georgia is not better than them, I'm pretty sure they don't watch any other college football. They just get up, turn their TV on when it's time for Alabama to play, and then turn it off once they're done and come and troll in your comment section.
There's a lot of people like that. They're not college football fans. They're just fans of one team. There's a lot of people that fall into that category. So you may be onto something there.
Yeah. I just don't like I can't go past a video without just it was just a few people, though. They'll be like, Alabama is way better than Georgia. Georgia sucks and blah, blah, blah.
Right. And then they say 1980. Because that's all they know. That's all they can say. When the worst thing somebody can say about Georgia this year is 1980, that tells me Georgia's pretty good. They can't come up with anything else to say. So.
And one other thing, really quick, I think Clemson is going to turn into Tennessee.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Holy
how Tennessee, Tennessee, my team. I'm a Tennessee fan, but it's hard to say this, but. We won the Natty in 1998, and I'm pretty sure the Clemson era is over, and they're just going to fall off board.
Oh my God! My buddy Pale Phone Bame said the same thing last week. Hey, thank you for the call, buddy. It was good to hear from you. Pine Fainbaum said the same thing last week, I believe. Clemson was dead or whatever he said because they've lost 2 games. Blake, thank you for the super chat. If you took UJ and Alabama 2nd and 3rd strings, would that be the 3rd best team in the country? I don't know about that, but I mean, clearly a lot of talent on the 2 and 3 deep on both Alabama and Georgia, for sure. No doubt about it. Lots of talent, and most of the 2nd stringers, particularly on defense, play for Georgia early in, not just in the 4th quarter. They play a lot. In the 1st quarter, we rotate in and out. So there's not a whole lot of difference in a lot of the positions at Georgia between 1st and 2nd string. It's just one of them happens to start and the other one happens to rotate in and out. Buy some juice, Lou. Boomer sooner. Orange, I'll do orange juice. What kind of juice orange juice is about the only juice I drink, I think. I do like orange juice. So thank you for hitting the PayPal link, Mark, and I will do that. I will buy some orange juice. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the show and the channel by hitting the PayPal link. I really appreciate that. You're good people. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hello.
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 Hello. Hello? They hung up. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What's up, Uncle Lou? Nate the Great. How are you doing, sir?
Nate the Great. I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
Pretty great. What was that thing? I couldn't stand that Bama guy last Tuesday night. Bamas are gums that they don't exist if they watch a college football. They watch their team and they don't out of that? So,
Facts.
all I'm saying is that, and yeah, you Guns fans, you think they all college football. You don't. You just know you just know you like Natties. That's all you do, and yeah, that's but I try to start them, but I tried.
You did pretty good. You did all right. You did all right.
Thank you. All right, have a good night.
Oh, all right, Nate. Thanks for the call, buddy. Good luck to your Michigan Wolverines and your Nebraska Cornhuskers this weekend. Thanks for calling in. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning, Uncle Lou.
Yeah, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Down here in the great state of Georgia, ready for them dogs to roll over those Tigers.
Yep, going to be another beating.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I called in last week about the offensive line.
Yeah, well, they look good this week. They looked good last weekend.
Well, yes, they did, and I think it's because. Do you think how much do you think it's contribute by getting Darnell Washington in at tight end? He's 6'6", 6'7", 240. And how much do you think that contribute?
Well, I do think that helped. I do think that helped when he was in. Now, he didn't play a ton of plays. Honestly, the biggest thing that helped Georgia's running game this past weekend is Arkansas's defense. I don't know why they never changed it, but Arkansas ran a 3-3-5 for the entire game. 3 linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 DBs, and we just we kept running, and they never changed it up. Now they prevented us from getting any deep shots down the field by running the 3-3-5. But there, they couldn't stop the run all day long. I think their defense had more to do with our rushing success than the 8 or 9 plays that Darnell Washington played or whatever it was. Although I do agree with you that he is one of the better blocking tight ends / receivers on the team for sure.
And then of course he's a good catching receiver. You see what he did last year, and then you got Brock on the other side.
Yeah. So
defense going to have to adjust to that. They might have to play a 3-4 because I don't think a team has 2 linebackers that can cover Brock and Washington.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to throw the ball this week. We're not going to run the ball in Auburn like we ran it on Arkansas. It's not going to happen. For one thing, they don't play that kind of defense. Number 2, they have a better I think Auburn is 6th in America against the run. They've got 2 NFL linebackers, Owen Papo, and I forget the second one's name. If there's a Barner watching, he can type it in the comment section. But they got 2 really, really good linebackers. I don't think their defensive line is as good as it has been in years past, but they still have a pretty good front 7. So Georgia's going to Stetson Bennett or whoever it is, and I'm assuming it's Stetson Bennett, is going to have to throw the ball more than 9 times this week, and that could be scary.
Yeah, it could be. I know what you mean. So Uncle Lou, I got 2 more things, and I looked at Alabama. I've been watching Alabama, and I think pretty much across the board that we got we got one up on Alabama as far as position wise and pretty much the side of the ball. But Alabama do have an X factor, and that's I've been looking at James Williams, number 1, that wide receiver.
Yeah,
he is extremely fast. I mean, like Deshaun Jackson when he played at UCLA or Sammy Watkins fast. He's an X factor.
Yeah.
So that he's a game changer. He really is. I don't know how Ohio State let him go. I don't know what happened up there, but he came to Alabama from the transfer portal last.
Yeah, well, they lost him. Ohio State lost him for the same reason we lost Jermaine Johnson.
Okay.
Just too many. There's just too many elite wide receivers up there. Ohio State's got the best receiving group in America, and this guy just wanted to go somewhere we could play some more. Same thing with Jermaine Johnson. I mean, Jermaine Johnson's the best player on Florida State's team.
Oh yeah, he is. He is number 11, the defensive end.
Yeah, and he came from Georgia. He transferred in the offseason.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I seen him. But when I look at him, I mean, of course, everybody has like A1 speed, but he has world class speed. You can just see it. And one more last thing is, of course, I'm going for our dogs, but if it's anything this weekend, if it's any reason or one thing that I will be rooting for another team when they're going and they're playing against my dog, is this scenario. I hope Bo Nix try to do that wishy-washy ballerina playground backyard TV football, go around trying to run away from everybody. I would have a ball. I would be in my house watching my TV, just pretty much lighting up like a kid on Christmas. Because I know he is going to be in a world of trouble. So, and it'll be just marvelous just to see him just scramble around and become scrambled eggs. Goodness gracious, that'll just make my Saturday afternoon will make me have a great Saturday night if I just see him just running around getting chased.
Yeah, he's going to be running for his life. There's no doubt about it. He hasn't had much success against Georgia in his time at Auburn, and I don't think he's going to have much this weekend either.
I can't wait to see that, Uncle Lou.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
I'm going to let you take another call, brother, and I'll talk to you again. Go Dogs.
Yeah, go Dogs. I appreciate you calling in. Talk to you again soon. Yeah, I had to do that real quick because the man said go Dogs. So, figured I'd go ahead and hit him with one of those one time. How bad do you think Kentucky implodes against LSU this weekend? Thank you for the PayPal, Michael W. How bad do you think Kentucky implodes? I don't think Kentucky will implode. I think it's possible they could lose. I still think LSU's a really talented team. They're just having, they're a lot like Clemson. Nothing's working right now for LSU for whatever reason. Both LSU and Clemson are having issues at the quarterback position. But both those teams are extremely talented. If they ever figure it out, Clemson and LSU both could be pretty good teams. Kentucky's a pretty good team, and they have figured it out. So it would be an upset, I think, if LSU were to win. But I mean, it could happen. But I don't know about Kentucky imploding. It is kind of a tough spot for Kentucky being in between the Florida and Georgia games. That would normally be what you would point to as a trap game, but maybe it's because it's LSU, they're able to avoid a stumble there. Because even though LSU's not that great this year, for Kentucky, LSU would still be a good win. It's still LSU to Kentucky. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Big emotional win for Kentucky last week. Fans stormed the field. We'll see how they respond to that this week in the LSU game sandwiched between probably the two biggest games of the year for Kentucky, the Georgia and Florida game. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on that and see how they do. Manifested Destiny, thank you for the super chat. Go Big Blue. Good luck to your Big Blue this weekend. And Workmeister again says, if Kentucky wins, do you think LSU fans refer to it as the new Bluegrass miracle due to the inevitable firing of Coach O? There is a lot of noise about Orgeron being fired if they lose the game this weekend. I don't know that they would fire him during the season, but it could be that if he loses this weekend, his fate is sealed. That could be the case because when you look at LSU's schedule the rest of the way, there's not a lot of wins on there. I mean, they still got to play Ole Miss, Alabama. They've got some look at their schedule. They only have one or two games that you look at and go, yeah, they could probably win that one. So if they don't beat Kentucky, it's going to be a long second half of the season. Very long second half of the season for the Corn Dog. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou. Oh, they hung up. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Uncle Lou. Hello?
Yeah. Good morning.
Is this Uncle Lou who yelled fuck you at people and have glasses and hat with the ass shirt on?
No one's going to be able to hear what you say until you take the marbles out of your mouth. I can't understand a word you're saying. It sounds like you might be trying to troll, which is fine. But whatever the troll attempt is, it's not going to work if no one understands a word you say. So, but try again. Go ahead again.
Is this Uncle who will have asked for on hat?
Yeah, this was a terrible effort. This is what you sound like. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou. That's you.
Hey, Uncle Lou.
Go. Yes.
What's going on,
Good
man?
morning. What's up?
Hey, man, it's Matt again. I'm calling. Spoke to you, I guess, a couple weeks ago for the first time.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I'm in the Greenville, South Carolina area. I know that, you know, I think around Augusta, but you ever heard of 105.5 The Roar?
No.
Out of Clemson?
Uh-uh.
Have you ever thought about doing any more trolling jobs to radio stations like you did in Tennessee?
Yeah, that might be the station. There was some station this summer that everybody kept trying to get me to call. That might have been it. It was a Clemson station. I know that. And the guy on there was, I guess, a Clemson homer and was bad-mouthing Georgia all off-season or something. I don't know if it's the same station or not, but I never got around to calling them.
Yeah, that sure sounds like it. There's this idiot, and if there's any other listeners in the Greenville, South Carolina, Clemson, Anderson area, or whatever, there's Walt Deptula. He's a complete ass and an idiot. But
right,
I sure wish you'd tune into that station one time and give that guy a call and give him the rundown like you did on Tennessee. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I should. I feel like it's too late to do it now. I should have done it right after we beat Clemson. I feel like I feel like it would be punching down now, taking candy from a baby at this point to call and troll a Clemson talk show host. I mean, they have to be, swallowing their own tongue at this point.
In the morning and in the afternoons, there's Calk and Kelly. They're really down to earth. You know, they understand where they're at. You know, they give credit where credit's due. You know, they ain't making any excuses. But, oh, my gosh, if you listen to this Walt Deptula guy, it's all excuses. And, you know, anytime Georgia's brought up by anybody, you know, it's always, oh, they ain't played nobody still, you know. And every week it's like you said, we ain't played nobody until it's this person coming up. And then after we beat them to a pulp, oh, it's the next team. So now it's Auburn. But for the past couple of weeks after we beat Clemson, it was sure nice to listen to all of them have their meltdown. Anyways, I'll let you go. I just wanted to call in and see if you had any interest in doing another troll job, and if so, that'd be the station.
Yeah, I'm always interested in trolling. Thank you for the call. It's one of my favorite pastimes and hobbies as well, in addition to that as well. I mean, we could pull up the strength of schedule so far this year if we wanted to. But we don't have to. But who have they played? Who have they played? Lou, can I just ask you one simple question? Who have they played? That's all I want to know. Who have they played? Who have Georgia played? Woo! Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Yeah.
Good morning. Saying,
is this good morning or good evening?
Yeah, good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
After dark.
Hey, this is Brian. Good morning, Uncle Lou.
Yeah, good morning in that.
2 questions. 1, do you think JT Daniels is a pussy, i.e. will always be injury prone? And 2, do you think this is the best defense you've ever seen from Georgia?
Probably is the best defense I've ever seen from Georgia. I would hesitate to call any football player sitting out with an injury a pussy. It could be that he's injury prone like Tua.
That's all I wanted to hear, Uncle Lou.
All right, buddy.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you for the call.
Go
Good to hear from
Dogs.
you too. Yeah, go Dogs. No doubt. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou. This is Austin. I got a couple of questions. First question is, you know, it's obvious that 1 and 2 is Georgia and Alabama. But if you had to bet money at the very end of the season, who do you think would be 3 and 4? And also, if you were Brock Vandagriff and you're seeing what's going on in the quarterback situation where, you know, obviously you got JT Daniels, which is
the quarterback at hand, but then you see Stetson Bennett, someone that wasn't really recruited after, getting the start over somebody that is highly recruited. How do you think he would feel about that? That's pretty much my question.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for the call. I've said this before. I don't understand why Brock Vandergriff or Gunnar Stockton, either one, ever committed, much less signed or is going to enroll at Georgia. I don't understand it. If I was a highly rated 4 or 5-star QB, I wouldn't even consider the University of Georgia. I would look out for my own best interest when it came to choosing a school. And I don't understand how a 4 or 5-star quarterback thinks coming to UGA is in their best interest. I'm glad they do, because it keeps giving us more and more opportunities not to play them. And as long as they're on Georgia's roster, they're not on someone else's. But I don't know why they come to UGA. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning, Uncle Lou. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good.
This is your old pal Marcus Aurelius down here in South Florida, buddy.
Yeah, good to hear from you, man.
Been a long time.
Yeah, you been all right?
Yeah. I've been okay. I mean, my mental health has declined rapidly since Saturday after watching the Gators completely fall apart against something called Kentucky Wildcats. You know, it's funny. It's one thing to lose a game in a fluke. You know, we think South Carolina, Georgia a couple of years ago was a shitty day. Best kicker in the college football at the time is just having a shitty day. Offense looks like hell. Fluke, South Carolina wins. Everybody thinks Gamecocks are back. What happened to Florida on Saturday was not a fluke. Florida was outplayed by Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's that simple. And a lot of the Florida fans, you know, my brethren or sister, whatever you want to call them, coming out here saying, well, we lost 2 points against Alabama. That was a good loss. Well, was Kentucky a good loss? Are we going to make excuses for Florida that they lost to Kentucky? Because they didn't lose in a goddamn fluke. They lost because they were outcoached, outplayed. They were manhandled on the line of scrimmage. It was goddamn embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. And the fact that anybody would come to the defense of Dan Mullen after that performance and after his post-game press conference is pathetic. I don't know what to do anymore at this point. You know, I can offer my sympathy. I can sit there and talk to them and try to work through their feelings because I understand the situation at Florida. Frankly, it's comparable, and they're going to crucify me for this. Florida football is a dumpster fire at this point. I mean, how else do we explain it? How else do we explain having a Heisman runner-up lead our team last year, basically blowing out offensive statistics all over the conference and all over the country, to get blown out by something called Oklahoma? They can't put together a football team the year after. We basically, I don't want to say blown out, but we get embarrassed by LSU at home over some bullshit, just like this Kentucky game. Bad calls, no discipline on the field, horrible coaching. And where does that come from? The top. And I'm not just talking Dan Mullen. I'm going one step further. This Strickland athletic director is a goddamn disgrace and a joke and pathetic and embarrassing. Period. We talk about Tennessee. We talk about Miami. We talk about these dumpster fire teams in America. You know why they're dumpster fires? Because the people at the top don't know what the hell they're fucking doing. I apologize for the language,
That's okay.
But this just has to be said.
What was the athletic director y'all had?
Level up.
What was the athletic director y'all had before Strickland? What was his name?
Just like Strickland, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because nothing gets done. Because we don't take it to the next step.
Well, you did when he was there. That's my point. He was considered one of the best athletic directors in America. I mean, y'all were winning basketball titles and football titles and everything else when he was. I can't remember his name now, though, but somebody will type it, I'm sure.
But
Jeremy Foley.
But again, poor leadership. Yeah. Poor leadership contributes to poor results.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
One or two false starts, you can blame on the crowd. 1 or 2 false starts, you blame that on crowd noise, nervousness. 8, 9 false starts in a game. That's like you said. That's a discipline issue from the top down. Yeah, I agree with you.
Absolutely. And a lot of the Florida fans have been coming out and saying, "Well, you know, we want to blame Dan Mullen, we want to blame Tom Grantham, we want to blame all the coaches and the coaching staff." But were they the ones false starting against the whistle? Were they the ones playing poorly on the line of scrimmage? Yes. You know why? Because back in the spring when we started practicing for the season, they were in charge of managing the discipline of the team, and they failed to do so. And I don't care if we lose to Alabama by 2 points and everybody says, well, we kept up with Alabama. I mean, goddamn, we're doing good. No, you're not. You don't do good in the SEC until you beat Alabama, until you come out like Georgia did last week against the Razorbacks and blow a top 10 team out 37-0. That's good. That's the standard. And I'm so sick and tired. And I was hesitant a couple of years ago when I heard you talk a lot of smack about Dan Mullen because I had to give him the benefit of the doubt as a Florida man. It's gone. The confidence is gone. And there's a lot of talk out at LSU getting rid of Orgeron, and I hope Dan Mullen is a part of that list where we see after the season when Florida ends up going 8-4 or whatever bullshit season that we have again under this clown Dan Mullenade, the overpriced, sugary, quote-unquote sports drink that does absolutely nothing for your athletic performance. I hope he's on that list of, hey, see you later. We're looking for somebody else to come aboard. That's what I got to say, Uncle Lou.
All right, Marcus, it was good to hear from you, buddy. Thanks for the call and good luck with your mental health situation. I'm sure playing Vanderbilt will go a long way to clearing that up. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou.
What's
Good
up?
morning. Man, it's week 6 already. It feels like college football just flies by. I feel like we just started. This week's matchups, I wanted to talk about the Oklahoma. I think the Oklahoma-Texas game is getting overlooked a little bit. Oklahoma has struggle wins. I mean, against Nebraska, Tulane, West Virginia, Kansas State. Do you think that Oklahoma could flip and Texas pull off? Well, I don't know if it'd be an upset, but pull off a W.
I do think Texas can win the game. I think they're playing better right now than Oklahoma is. Oklahoma's going to have to play their best game of the year, or they're going to lose, unless Texas reverts back to the way they looked the first couple of weeks of the season. But Texas has looked better the last 2 weeks, in my opinion, since the loss to Arkansas. And Oklahoma, to me, has consistently looked just kind of average. Now, they've managed to win, and in the end, that would be all that mattered. I mean, if they go 13-0, it doesn't really matter that they struggled. They're probably going to get in. But it just seems to me if Oklahoma keeps straddling the fence like they are, eventually they're going to fall off of it, and that could be this week against Texas because I think they're playing pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to let you go because there's a real bad echo on your end for some reason. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Hello.
Hello.
Is this Uncle Lou? Oh my God, I'm actually on. Man, I've been trying to call this dude. First of all, my name's Drake. I'm from Jackson, Tennessee. Yeah, I'm a Tennessee fan. Oh my God. But I've been trying to call this show for the longest time, and I had to figure it out because I got to get and insert your joke here. Whatever. But man, I finally realized, oh shit, you stay on the line long enough, the beat and all that kind of thing. Anyway, the Florida guy talking about athletic directors, that kind of thing, shit rolling downhill. Man, I just hope that Tennessee can take Florida's place to where we can get 8 wins in a season, and Florida can be going through athletic director and coach after coach after coach. I hope they can experience that, and I hope we can get to 8 wins.
I would love to see Florida waddle around face down in the mud for 15 years like Tennessee has. That nothing would make me happier. So I hope you're right.
Wouldn't that be fucking?
Yes, it would be great.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, it would be. It would be amazing.
Oh my gosh,
it'd be amazing.
But fucking dude, Tennessee, man, I love your show. I've been watching it. I want to say 5 years, a long damn. Probably when you broke your TV. Whenever
yeah, it's been about 5 years.
Tennessee
Yeah, that was 2016. That was 2016. Yeah, so 5 years ago.
When Tennessee beat y'all with the Hail Mary, I was like, this guy's fucking hilarious. And you tell it how it is. So,
yeah.
Big fan of the show. Go Vols. You know, the big deal today was the black uniforms, which I like.
I thought they looked good. Yeah, I thought they looked good. I'm a fan of black uniforms, though. I've rarely seen an alternate black uniform that I didn't like. I think the black uniforms look good on almost any team that does it.
My thing is, like, old heads like my dad, it's not traditional Tennessee.
Yeah.
The goddamn orange. I don't see what's wrong with that. They all just kept to that.
That's not just a Tennessee thing, I promise you. Every fan base deals with that, with the older crowd and the, like, traditions versus doing things that are new and exciting. I mean, as a Georgia fan, we deal with that kind of stuff all the time, too, whether it's alternative uniforms or changing the entrance song that Georgia comes out to. It's always the old people who want to keep everything the way it used to be and don't want to change anything.
Well, I'm going to ask one more thing. So Tennessee, Carolina this weekend. Tennessee's offense, I'm impressed with the offense. Our defense is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
We suck at defense. I don't care what anybody says. But the offense is clicking a little bit against shitty teams. What do you think this outcome is this weekend?
Well, you're in luck. South Carolina's a terrible team, like you said. Hendon Ho seems to be getting a little bit better. Definitely played his best game of the year last week on the road at Mizzou. So we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do this weekend. But South Carolina's not a very good team, so I think Tennessee's got a great chance to win. Thank you for the call. Tennessee's got to avoid turnovers and things like that. Tennessee's not a good enough team right now to where they can turn the ball over 2 or 3 times and still win. Generally speaking, maybe Carolina also turns it over 2 or 3 times and negates that. But it's hard for good teams to beat bad teams when they turn the ball over. It's almost impossible for a bad team to beat anybody when they turn the ball over. So Tennessee's got to hold on to the ball. They can't turn it over. I know they had a problem with dumb penalties the first few games of the season. Those are the kinds of things you have to avoid when you're a Tennessee or South Carolina type of team that's trying to win a game against a kind of equal matched opponent. And it's at home. I think Tennessee's got a good chance to win. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What's up, Lou? I was just so the last few years, the narrative around Georgia. First of all, I'm a Georgia fan. The narrative around Georgia is just always no offense.
Right.
And people have been, kind of trying to say the same thing this year, but like I saw a stat that really popped out to me. First off, and everybody's gonna say who if we play whatever we play 2 top 10 teams. So I mean, what do you want us to do? We're 8th in scoring offense, and we're 4th in offensive efficiency. That's basically, you know what that means. But like, I think you got to give Todd Monken a lot of credit, and honestly, you got to give Kirby a lot of credit. Like, I did not expect him to go out and fire Coley, get him out, and go with Monken. Honestly, like, I'm all with you with like Kirby really annoys me with the offense sometimes. But just like looking at the offense as a whole, you got to give him credit with where it's going, especially with all the pieces we have out.
Yeah, I mean, we're 7th in points per game, and that includes a 10-point performance against the Taters. You know what I mean? So Georgia's offense is the best that it's been in the Kirby Smart era right now, at least in terms of points. And in the end, that's what matters. We're number 1 in points scored on offense, and we're number 1 in points given up on defense. I mean, we're number 8 in points, or number 7 in points scored, number 1 in points allowed. That's a pretty good combination.
You can see just the stuff we're running. Like, it's so different from a Cheney or a Coley. Just like the plays are there. Sometimes like maybe the personnel maybe isn't all there right now, but like just the plays we're running. I mean, even last year against Florida when it was a disaster in the second half. I mean, how many plays were there? Just the system as a whole. Like, I'm finally like at least like excited like last year, and then moving forward with like the system looks like it's in place once we get the right players and play those players, of course.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, John. I don't think the offense, outside of getting the quarterback situation figured out before we play, some teams down the road, I don't think Georgia's offense has very many issues. Just got to get some people healthy. That's all. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I just have a quick question, and that's people think I'm crazy for saying this, and that's Stetson Bennett is horrible, and J.T. Daniels is way better, and my dad thinks that I call him the little midget is like the best quarterback in history.
Well, he's a Disney dog. He thinks every player that Georgia has is the best at their position every single year. I know a million people just like your dad. The reality is Stetson Bennett's just not very good. The best you can hope for from Stetson Bennett is he doesn't lose the game for you. That's the best you can hope for. He's not winning a game.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that right now. He's not a top 40 quarterback in college football. So, I mean, he's just not. He doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the physical abilities. He doesn't have the stature. He's just, Your dad is just one of those people that thinks, well, if he plays for Georgia, he must be the greatest in history. There's lots of people that are like that. It's not just your dad. So a bunch of them, Disney dogs, we call them. But thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate that. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm hanging in there. Just kind of, I don't know if I sound crazy for saying this. I'm a Tennessee fan. I've been surprised by Tennessee's defense this year in a way. Like, I think they're better than I thought they were going to be. I'm not saying they're good. I just thought they've been better than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be horrendous.
Yeah, I thought they'd be
I
the
thought
worst
they
in
were
the
gonna be on the
SEC,
level of, like,
and I don't think they're the worst in the SEC.
I thought they were going to be like Missouri.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be like Missouri.
Yeah.
Another question I kind of had, and I kind of let you go. What do you think the over/under is going to be for Ole Miss versus Tennessee this year?
The over/under on total points scored?
Yes.
Between 55 and 60, maybe.
All right. Well, I won't bother you no more. You have a good night, sir. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, thank you for the call. Good luck to your Vols. Good luck to your Vols this coming weekend. Michael W., thank you again for hitting the PayPal link. He says, in your humble opinion, what does Cincinnati need to do in order to make the college football playoff? Well, the only thing they can do themselves is win, and they're doing that. The best they can do is go 13-0 and cross their fingers. That's all they can do. He says their schedule will be held against them, but what do you feel needs to happen outside of them winning out? They've proven they can hang with the big dogs, but they need the Pac-12 and probably the Big 12 champion to have 2 losses, probably, because they're not getting in over a 1-loss SEC or Big Ten East team, I don't think. So I still think, I mean, Cincinnati's got a shot, but they're still on the outside looking in right now, in my opinion. Still on the outside looking in. All right, nobody's on hold, so I'm going to turn the phones off. Thanks to everybody that called in tonight, though. Let's see. Luis F., thank you for hitting the PayPal link tonight. He says, Uncle Lou, I'm nervous for my Sooners this weekend. We haven't played anybody. Well, don't say you played Tulane. And we're barely beating them. Anyways, love the show, love the content, Boomer Sooner. I think it's going to be a good game, and it's hard for me. I'm doing a prediction video tomorrow on all the big games. I've been leaning towards taking Texas all week long. It's going to be hard when I sit down to do that video tomorrow to actually take Texas because Oklahoma's just dominated that series lately. And I do think Oklahoma is talented enough to beat Texas. Clearly, I think they're talented enough to beat Texas. It just seems to me that Texas right now has been playing a little bit better. And I don't blame you for being nervous. I think Oklahoma fans should be nervous for this game against Texas. For one thing, it's a rivalry game, and so you have the whole anything can happen type of thing. And Oklahoma just hasn't looked as good as everybody, myself included, thought they would be. You got to remember, I had Oklahoma ranked number 1 in my preseason poll. I thought their defense was going to be lights out this year. I thought Spencer Rattler was the Heisman favorite, and it just hasn't come together yet for Oklahoma. Maybe it does this weekend and they beat Texas by 2 or 3 scores. But if you've watched Texas and Oklahoma play over the last couple of weeks, Texas looks like they can beat Oklahoma. Now, being able to beat them and actually beating them aren't the same. Texas has a way of finding ways to lose sometimes in these situations, so we'll see what happens. Andy Case, thank you for hitting the super chat. He says, I liked your Kroger has never called you video. Just stating facts in that video, that's all. Kroger has never, there's not a person in here that's ever been called by Kroger. Just keep that in mind when they keep asking you for your phone number. James Peach, thank you for the super chat. You see that guy troll Coach O on the call-in show? No, I do not watch Coach Ed Orgeron's call-in show, unfortunately. So I did not see that. Hunter Ledford, thank you for the super chat. Stetson is Frodo Baggins. You're thankful he got you as far as he has, but you can't get to the finish line. Dude even looks like him. Looks like Frodo Baggins. Well, he does have kind of the curly hair a little, doesn't he? I'm appreciative for what Stetson has done. I just also worry about what to me are clearly his limitations, which is that he can't throw the ball very well. He tends to make bad decisions at really bad times, and he's tiny. Like, really tiny. Grant, thank you for hitting the PayPal link tonight, sir. He says, what do you think of 90% of the money being on Texas on the money line? Is that true? And the line's still not moving versus OU. Usually when that much money is on one team. Well, the money on a money line wouldn't move the spread. Money on a spread would move the spread. Money on a money line just changes the odds of the money line. I don't want to get too complicated for people that don't care about gambling, but when you bet a bunch of money on one team on the money line, the odds change. In other words, if Texas is a 3-point underdog and the money line is plus 140, and a bunch of people start betting Texas on the money line, it'll go to 130, and then 125 and 120 or whatever. What moves the point spread is people betting on the spread. 90% seems really high, though. 90% seems really high. But I'm part of that 90%, I think. Well, did I? Did I put a bet on Texas already? Let me see. I've already placed 2 or 3 bets for this weekend. I don't remember if Texas was one of them. Let me look and see. I almost bet on the Rams tonight minus 2.5, and I didn't. What's the score of that game? Would I have won that bet? Let's see. Pending bets. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've got Texas on the money line plus 145. So let's see what it's at now, because I bet this several days ago. So let me see what the money line is at now. I got Texas plus 145. Texas, Oklahoma, where are you? Did I pass it already? Oh, there it is. It's still at 145 on Bet Now. So I got it at 145. It's still at 145. The spread's at 3 on Bet Now. Daniel Joseph, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, can you send a word to Kirby that when they play my Kentucky boys to not injure us? I don't mind losing by 49, but just leave us intact. I don't think anyone has been injured against Georgia this year. Not that I can recall off the top of my head anyway. I mean, I'm banged up, sure, but I don't recall any players getting injured against UJ this year. But no, I never want anybody to get injured on any team, whether it's Georgia, the team Georgia is playing, or any other team in college football. I don't ever want anybody to get injured. So yes, I will pass that word along to Kirby on our weekly conference call that we have tomorrow or every Friday at 2 p.m. I will pass that on. Because I care about you. I care about you. You already know. Nicholas G, thank you for hitting the PayPal link tonight, sir. Nicholas, you sure are good people. Someone called me a scholar and a gentleman earlier. No, Nicholas, you're a scholar and a gentleman. Thank you. He says, go Dogs. If you ain't seen this, could you play it for us r/CFB fans eventually? Let me see what it is first. Is it this T-Pain Auburn song?
Yeah. Pizzle. Let's go early. What we do? I like driving in my truck. He likes to drive in his truck. Auburn sucks. Auburn sucks. I like driving in my truck. He likes to drive in his truck. Auburn sucks. Auburn sucks. I like trucks. He likes trucks. I don't care for Auburn. He doesn't care for Auburn. Hose.
I think it said hose at the end too, which was great. Pretty accurate lyrics too, from what I could tell. Brian B, thank you for hitting the super chat to help support the show, sir. I really appreciate that. Just wanted to let you know I'm a 42-year-old UJ freshman. My orientation was last month. Well, good for you, Jonathan, going back to school. It's never too late. Good for you, sir. Good luck. Hope my scratch-offs pay something towards your education. You think he's on Hope Scholarship, huh? I like Iowa at home, too. We may see the Barner tomorrow. You have to stay tuned. May see the Barner. Got a prediction video and the hype and hate video tomorrow. So the prediction video will be first. Hopefully sometime in the early afternoon I can get that out. And then the hype and hate video will come out late Friday afternoon, probably 6 or 7, something like that. Has been how it's seems like that's how the time frame has been going so far the last couple of weeks. I have the morning show till 10. Then I'll sit down to work on the prediction video. Try to get it out by 1 or 2. And then it usually takes me a few hours to record and edit the hype and hate videos. And then hopefully get that posted, like I said, maybe around 6 or so. But I am going to get out of here. I appreciate all of you tuning in tonight. Big shout out to everybody that called in. I really appreciate that. Without the callers, obviously there would be no call-in show. So I appreciate everybody that takes the time to call in. And I realize that a lot of times you guys wait on hold for 10, 15, 20, sometimes 30 minutes to get on. So I appreciate y'all being patient. We try to get, I try to get as many people on as I can without people feeling like I'm rushing them to get off after they've waited on hold for 20 minutes to get on. So it's a kind of tricky thing to navigate, but I try to do the best I can with that. So shout out to everybody who took the time to call in. Thanks to everybody for tuning in and watching. Hit the thumbs up on your way out if you haven't already. Also, a big shout out to those who supported the show tonight through the Super Chat and the PayPal. Without the Super Chats, the PayPals, the direct donations, that's the only thing that keeps these live shows going. So I really, really appreciate those of you who chose to do that tonight. Brian Brenner, Daniel Joseph, Hunter Ledford, James Peach, Andy Case, Workmeister, Manifested Destiny, Blake, Brandon Wyatt, and Prophet. And over on the PayPal, we had Mark P, Michael W, Lewis F, Grant A, Nicholas G, and Nicholas W. Thank you for hitting the PayPal link. Let's see what he has to say. Nothing. You can attach a note to your PayPal now, just so you know, and I'd be happy to read whatever comment. But thank you for supporting the show tonight, Nicholas. I really appreciate that. D-Man 430 says, "Keep it up, brother." I plan on it. I'm gonna keep it up as long as I can. Don't worry about that. I'm not going anywhere. I do this year round. There is no off season for me. There's just a part of the season where we don't play games, from like February to July. But I do this call-in show year round. I upload the videos year round. This is a 365-day-a-year gig for Uncle Lou. Appreciate all of you tuning in, not just tonight, but all the time. We'll do these call-in shows again next week. I'll put the schedule up on the screen again real quick here for anybody that might not be familiar with the live show schedule. The morning show is on my second channel, Uncle Lou on LouTube. Uncle Lou on LouTube is the second channel. And yes, that's where the morning show is. We do that Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 8 a.m. I'm also going to start uploading pointless, barely watchable videos on that channel that are not football related. So if you're only interested in football content, this is the only channel you need to be on. The other channel is not football related. I talk about football sometimes on the morning show, but it's not a football channel. So just stay here if you only want to watch football videos. The call-in show I do on this channel every Tuesday and Thursday night at 10 p.m. year-round. And then I have the Lunch Money show right here on this channel with me and Pigskin Pete. And we do that every Monday night at 10 p.m. That's the live show schedule. The schedule for tomorrow, morning show at 8 a.m., prediction video coming out early afternoon, hype and hate video for the barn coming out late afternoon, early evening, hopefully like around 6 o'clock. That's the schedule. I'm still not 100% sure on the streaming schedule for Saturday, other than I will be on at 9 a.m. to do the College Game Day show on this channel here. And I'm going to stream at least 2. Oh, you know what? I might be able to tell you right now because I was waiting on some information about my daughter that might have dictated when I would be able to. Oh, no. No, that's somebody else. Yeah, you can come on the morning show tomorrow, Nate. Of course you can. You're welcome anytime. What's tomorrow? Friday? I don't think there's anybody coming on tomorrow, Nate. So, yeah, you can come on tomorrow. You can come on tomorrow, right? You can come on right at the beginning of the show if you want. Whatever you want to do. What's up, Doc? He says, Steve Sarkisian uses the word tinkle instead of pee. He's an Oklahoma man, so he's getting his Texas shots in this week. Good to see you in here, sir. What's up, Ladarius? All right, so I'm going to get out of here. I will let you all know tomorrow what the schedule is for live streaming the games on Saturday. There's a chance, just like last weekend when I had to leave and go do something for my daughter. I might have to do that again this Saturday. I won't know until, I thought I would know maybe now, but I don't. So I'm going to have to wait until the morning to find out. Jonathan McClure, thank you for the, whatever that is. That's your number one. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good morning.